So it's been a week since I've participated in Sad Side Conversation. Um, I've enjoyed watching all of you, um, especially any reference that any of you make to Josh, um, because just for a small second I think you're talking to me. Um, and then I realize, of course, you're talking to Josh Molina, but I like just that little adrenalized thrill for a second where I think that people who I don't know are commenting on something that I've done, despite the fact that haven't done anything. Uh, but needless to say, I've sort of been able to pretend that I'm friends with a lot of you, um, as if you know we've worked together at various gigs, uh, comedy, music, or theatrical. Um, and even when I see things online and I see Josh's name and I realize uh, very quickly that they're not referring to me, I still really enjoy it. Um, it's been a little intimidating to come back uh, and participate. I'm just a writer. I'm not a performer like the rest of you, and kind of being on the side of the camera is a little strange. Um, I seem a lot puffier than I even imagined that I was. Um, and I know all of you are character actors, so I mean, it's not even that the bar is so incredibly high, but I still find myself kind of sliding under it. Um, and yet I really appreciate, kind of what you guys do, and I realize how difficult it is. Um, I've never performed um, for any, you know, in any organized way or anything like that. Um, I did do, I did actually do a rap video once. It was for an in-house uh, satire at the Christian Science Monitor news station back in the early '90s, where I worked as a PA. Um, and every year they would produce some sort of video with funny songs talking about all the other Christian Science executives. Um, they're mostly Jews working at the station, but the Christian Scientists sort of ran the thing. And they would just bring the Jews in to do a lot of the work. Um, and I was a PA, and anyway, they had asked me to write a rap video, and so I was happy to write, anything other than answer phones. Um, but they put me on tape rapping, and I can't say I'm particularly proud of the work, um, although I do keep it, occasionally look at it. Um, but I knew fairly uh, quickly, right around then, that performing was not something that I was going to be doing. Um, they had given me the task of running the teleprompter for the live nightly news show, which they were running on Channel 68 in Boston. Um, and there was an old newsman named John Hart who was from CBS, and he was an old pro and very cool in front of the camera, very calm. We couldn't ruffle him, and I was given the job of running the teleprompter, uh, which was somewhat terrifying. And I probably I didn't want the job, but they kind of convinced me to do it. I was a fairly fast typist, and you were required to kind of run this little machine during the live broadcast, and then occasionally you would have to stop during commercial breaks, and you would have to retype things, and I didn't understand how stressful it was going to be. Um, and I should go back and explain that in years previous, I had developed a sporadic but significant tendency to ejaculate under times of high stress. It started when I was in high school, um, and I remember a particular geometry test that I had to take, and it was right down near the end, and I had to finish this proof, and the teacher was saying, you have to put your pencils down, and I just came. Uh, And I thought I'd gotten it under control, and then I was at the teleprompter, and I was on day 2, and I was required to, move some text around, and it was a live program, and all of a sudden I just ejaculated again. And I was wearing khaki pants, and it was horrible. It was dark, so I was able to sneak out of there. Um, but from that day forward, I always wore dark pants or jeans or something like that. Um, and I had a good sense at that point, and I was 22 years old, that I would probably be best just to write and not get in front of the camera. And a last note on that: the director of the news program at the time is the now current 7-time Emmy nominated director of The Daily Show, Chuck O'Neill, who I've not spoken to in 20 years. And so I just want to say um, to Chuck, I apologize for ejaculating in your control room. Um, it'll never happen again.